Happy National Make Your Bed Day, and welcome to week 2 of the 22nd season of the Sandlot Fantasy Football League. Really nailed that one. We're here for a quick hit podcast. This is something we're going to try to get more of these in this year, so we don't have to commit an hour or whatever. Kind of a last spur of the moment thing. With me, I got Hillers. What's up, Hillers?
Hey, good to be here.
I got Nick. What's up, Nick?
Yo, make the bed day is fantastic. I cannot start my day if my bed is not made.
Do you really make your bed every day?
Every day. Cannot. Making the bed is like cleaning the kitchen. Like if the bed is not made, and the kitchen is not clean, you have a messy house.
Well, I guess I have a messy house.
I also have an extremely messy house.
Mainly for the bed thing. My kitchen's usually pretty clean, but yeah.
Yeah, well, it's so nice to be here on Make Your Bed Day when there's nothing to talk about bed making etiquette and football. So that's great news. It was a wild first week. It already feels like the league is suddenly different than it was last season. And love to hear some thoughts about it. It seems like different people are on top. Different people that we know as champions finding themselves near the bottom of the power rankings this first week. Meryl, are we freaking out, or is this just week 1 shenanigans and this will normalize?
No, look, there's always a lot of week 1 overreactions. It's we can look through a few of them. For instance, not going to happen. Chiefs, who I had very high in my power rankings coming into this year, had a terrible week 1, and I have completely bailed on them. I think they stink, and I'm out. That's it. 1 week, I'm out. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just like, this team's not going to do it. So it's stuff like that, right? So,
right. Is Touchdown Jesus a new bad team? Last year's champion, or is this just us burying him too soon?
Burying too soon.
Yeah. I don't think they're done. I think I'm not bailing on TDJ, 3-time champion just yet.
Sure.
Yeah, I
Nick,
think there's still some hope there.
So are you ready for Slod Tadpoles and the Dying Gnomes to be new scary
Slod Tadpoles and Dying Gnomes were the 2 preseason favorites. Like, there's absolutely nothing about these 2 teams that were not like I think that we all had them very high. I think if I were to go back and relook at them, I think that they are definitely in my top 6 that make the playoffs. That's as after week 1, they are real deals. Like, there's absolutely after week 1, there's absolutely no surprises about the way things planned out. The all play absolutely shows exactly what we thought teams are. It just doesn't show the stupidity of what fantasy football is.
Except for not going to happen Chiefs, who was 1-11 in all play and happened to play the one team that they beat.
Reiterate what I just said. I had not going to happen Chiefs as like my number 11 or 12 team in the power rankings, and they are the number 11 team. They just got lucky as shit just because of stupid fantasy football. Like, they are not good. But the all play says different. The all play reinforces what I said in our preseason rankings. The actuality, which is the stupidity of what we play, is different. But the all play enforces what I said.
It's a good point that it's only a little bit surprising relative to other seasons. But that we kind of expected that these teams to have big improvements. And it's nice to see that even though sometimes it feels like there's not like as much talent as you would want in the draft or on the waiver wire, there is ways to change your fate. Right? And a lot of our previous champions have come from teams who left the league leaving absolute dumpster fires behind. So, new year, new Slod.
Well, new Slod, but Slod made the playoffs last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
And Watson was a runner-up. Gnomes were runner-up last year. So, like, these are not. Right. It's not that new. Right. I mean, right. It takes us after 20 years, right? There's a long history of like. It's like it's hard to realize that like
we're slow to cotton on to the hot trends. Yeah.
But no, they've got teams that we all thought were pretty good, I think.
Okay, so Nick, it's a new week. You expected everything from the team, but every week 1, there's things that happen with players that we didn't expect. Pick your wildest overreaction. Who do you think we should be absolutely flabbergasted about player-wise this season? After 1 week of play, 1 game.
We're looking at the holisticness and not just one team, and that is a tough question, which is amazing. Good job, Hillers, for your analytic Can I rephrase your question, and I will want to reposition.
I'd like to answer a different question.
I'm going to answer a different question instead.
Sure. Go ahead.
And I am going to say that anyone who punted on the tight end position after week 1, their strategy was reinforced because the tight end position was such a. I think that there was such a premium on it that people may have overinvested in week 1, and it might just be the position where the NFL has evaluated the tight end position is way more important than what it should be, and there might be the idea of a premium tight end might not exist anymore. Every team just might have it, and maybe every tight end's going to be a 10 to 15 point guy.
Every tight end. Okay, that is a wild take. Merrill, where are you on this?
That's a take. Every tight end is absolutely not a 10 to 15 point.
Every tight end, no. But in a 12-team league, everyone can have a top 15 tight end. Obviously, that makes sense.
Sure. I think the concern is the difference in the top 3. You look at positions, right? And it's well, why do we invest in positions? It's because value over replacement. And the problem is, if you've got, whatever, Brock Bowers, for instance, that's so much more value over replacement than Jake Ferguson, right? So it's that's why people would invest more in a top tier tight end. I think the issue we ran into this year, where I was with you, Nick, at the start of your point that you made, is Brock Bowers and George Kittle both injured this week, and these are top tier tight ends. Now Bowers might be okay. I think there are Hillers you've probably been paying a lot more closer attention to this than me, but it sounds like he might be okay and he might even play this week. But George Kittle is now on IR for 4 to 6 weeks, they're saying. So, right. That if nothing else, tight ends took a hit this week, especially the top ones that people invested in.
No, I think that when I look at the idea that Trey McBride scored 15 points and was the number 10 tight end of the week, I look at it and say there is you got 15 points out of someone who should be the quote top 3 tight end, and he's only the number 10. The tight end the points that a tight end can get are increasing, and maybe the premium that you spend on the tight end isn't worth it in the long run.
I will say it might be a little bit more difficult to say which ones are going to be good. I think, especially in week 1, you don't want to overreact.
That's what you pay for. That's what you pay for.
You don't want to overreact.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Because it's preseason. Some of the best receivers were holding out. Some of the quarterbacks didn't play as much. I think the tendency for a cautious.
You asked for a hot take. I gave you a hot take.
Yeah, but I mean, there are people that tried to pay for a good tight end. That tried to pay for Hawkinson or Ingram or
Ingram also hurt, by the way,
or Mark Andrews or somebody like that, trying to be competitive in tight end, and they're left out in the cold, and guys that were maybe a little less obvious coming up there. Do I think that'll be maintaining throughout the season? I'm kind of inclined to believe it's a week 1. Let's check down to the tight end thing, but maybe you're right. That would be crazy, and frankly, I'd love it if tight end was more of a thing this year.
I think what I'll say is if Bowers and Kittle are hurt, tight end is a dumpster fire again. That's it, right? Because all that's left is McBride at that point, right? And good for you, Nick, for having him. But beyond that, it's who cares? Honestly, I'll take the number 15 tight end at that point, because how different is that than T.J. Hawkinson or whoever the number 4, or maybe Tyler Warren might be sneaking in there. We can talk about that. But we're back to the dregs of tight end all of a sudden. If the top 2 guys are hurt and out for a few weeks, here we are. We're back in. Who cares about tight ends?
I think the question is, though, that the difference. I guess where I'm going with. Let's just keep moving. Let's just move on.
No, that's fine. And
we spent way too much time on tight end,
right? And not that anyone cares about Bowers, but he said he was fine. He wanted to come back in the game, and I think it was a safety thing. It looks like he'll be back this week. Sure. So not the only surprises though but the insane behavior of the league now that the travesty that is $0 bidding has been enacted. At least one owner has completely just lost their shit. Merrill, you wanna walk us through?
Yeah.
what just happened on the waiver wire?
One of the teams that I think several owners in the league are concerned about, and maybe concerned about his well-being. The team is Cyborg Tony Romo, the owner being Greg Roscoe, who once a giant in this league, came in and immediately won championship 3 out of his first 4 seasons. He's fallen on some tough times, and we might need to just check on him, and maybe if you're out there and you know Roscoe, maybe just send him some love, send him some thoughts and prayers, because he's really going through some stuff here. He spent a combined $60 on something called Kayshon Boutte and Harold Fannin today on Free Agent Wire. 60 of his $100 went to the Browns TE2 and the Patriots wide receiver maybe 3, we'll say. I mean, who knows? Patriots is still kind of an up-in-the-air thing. But you're in bad shape when it's like, I'm going to spend 60% of my fab on the Browns TE2 and something called Kayshon Boutte. So, yeah.
2 or 3 in the Patriots. He's definitely not even like the number one guy.
Well,
right?
I mean, look, there's some analytics that saying that if you look at the last 5 to 6 games going back to last year, he's won. But they brought in Stephon Diggs. There's Demario Douglas. There's there's a lot of things that are going on. It's a lot of things up in the air where maybe I don't want to spend
those guys.
Maybe I don't want to spend $37 on one of these guys in fab money to. So if you're out there saying what's going to save my team is spending $37 on Kayshon Boutte in week 2, you're probably not in the best spot. You're probably not exuding the confidence, or you probably don't have the confidence that you're exuding over Discord, I'll say, which he was. He seems very confident in his team. He loves it very much. But when you go out and spend $37 on Kayshon Boutte in week 2, I'm going to say that undercuts that a little bit.
Nick, is this a lack of confidence in his team, or is this a reaction to an owner saying, screw it, I might as well spend anything because nothing costs anything and you want?
I think that statistically speaking, the most money, the players that you acquire in the first waiver period after week 1 are the ones that pay off the most. So if you spend the money to get the guys that you want, that put up now, it may seem bad now, but in the long run, it's not going to matter, and maybe they're going to pay off. There's definitely statistically speaking, it's a drop off where it's like the money that it's the return on investment, and statistically speaking, the return on investment he's going to get on Boutte is better than spending $3 on a guy in week 5. I can't speak to that. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I do know that there's more math to it that says spend early than spend late.
So you think Boutte's a strong investment? I think there's something to be said for that.
I think that's what he's done. I think
everyone is surprised at once, right?
Typically, what Brosco does, he spends his money early and lets it pay off. And I mean, Boutte is. I mean, the joke at the draft was kind of I should have gotten Boutte instead of Chisholm, but I wanted Efton Chisholm because I think that's a great name too. But Boutte was the better person to pick up on because he was higher on the depth chart. He does have the higher upside. So Boutte's not a complete wild card, and he did present numbers in week 1. So it is a Roscoe move-esque, but again, it's the idea that statistically speaking, you want to spend all your money in week 1.
I am a believer of the philosophy that week 1 is a great place to get talent because everybody is surprised, and the people that will eventually rise to the top in that season won't last to week 3 in a league like this. Having said that, it's 60% of your free agent than other people. It's a huge amount. And not every year is going to have a Puka Nacua in it. Not every year is going to have a guy that everyone missed and then turns out to be a number 1 week after week startable guy. And I was even asking him, hey, is he in your lineup? He's like, maybe this week, maybe not next week. To me, I'm like, how are you going to spend, $37 on a guy that maybe starts for you? Someone might get hurt on your team. You really might need that money. I would be scared if I was him, but you're right. Maybe he just knows something we all don't know.
Sometimes you just need a win.
Yeah, and week 1 is the week to get the surprise players of a year. But I can't imagine a guy that is playing for the Patriots with some competition for targets ends up a keeper value. At
A keeper. It's
$37.
not about being keeper, it's value. Right now, it's about winning. Right now, it's about getting a week that win.
Hillers, you and I disagree on strategy almost all the time. I don't think I've ever agreed with you more in the last 30 seconds of what you just said. The weird thing, I think, I don't know if we're doing hot takes or anymore, but like this is like the most boring free agent week one we've like ever had. I feel like there's really there's nothing like. You talk about Puka Nacua, and you can go back to previous years. Justin Jefferson I think he was a free agent pickup when he was good. Like there, and that's why Roscoe. That was the case he made on Discord. Obviously, he was saying like these are the guys I picked up, whatever. But like I just don't see. Again, you look at the people who are picked up. It's like again Harold Fannin, a forgotten about tight end on whatever. You talk about Marquise Brown was another one who was a lot of money was spent on. Who was like, dude, we've all been down the Marquise Brown road. Nobody's excited for Marcus. He's not like a surprise. Like he's not coming out of nowhere. A lot of these people were rookies that like kind of came out of nowhere that were surprised. Like these, like Harold Fannin, obviously a rookie, but he's the TE2 on the Browns. Whatever. We're gonna move on. Keyshawn Bootie's been around for what? Was he rookie last year? Maybe 2 years he's been in the league. I don't know, but he's been around. Like he's not a surprise to anybody, right? And it's like so people are spending all this money to find the next Puka Nacua when it's like not quite the same situation, right?
Doesn't always happen.
Let me get my
Puka
dad
Nacua's on the Rams being thrown to by Matt Stafford in an offense that's amazing, right? And it's like
let me get my dad glasses out for a second.
Yeah, you got it.
Well, wait, quick yes or no question, and then we'll move on. Week 16, Cyborg Tony Romo, does he regret his lack of free agent money? Merrill, you first, yes or no?
No, because he's out of it. I mean, he's done. His team stinks.
He has no chance. It doesn't matter.
He's flailing right now. He's trying to find anything that's going to provide some fantasy points for his team, and he can't find it. And this team's a dumpster fire right now, and he's
all right.
He's flailing.
Week 16, yes or no? He regrets his lack of money. No.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter. Like Merrill said, like he's not in the toilet bowl. Like maybe he does because he wants to not have to sing a national anthem, but like he's not.
That's a great point. He might have to sing. Maybe he will be regretting it at that point. I forgot about that aspect. I didn't think about the national anthem angle.
If he's looking at memorizing the Norwegian national anthem in its original Norwegish, could be tough. I'm going to say he doesn't regret it because it doesn't fucking matter if there's no consequences anymore. $0 bids, pick up whoever. We have wrought this. I think.
Yeah. So give me you guys thoughts. Hillers on it. Give me your thoughts on the $0 bids. So far, like have they changed it all?
It's doing exactly what we thought. There's just player churn, people feeling free to make low consequence, possibly bad decisions because there's no impact, and they're just hoping that one of the guys that everybody wasn't really looking at turns out to be good, and they just happen to pick a name out of a hat first. I find it appalling.
What are your
Nick,
thoughts,
where are
Nick?
you?
Nick, you and I discussed this a few nights ago, by the way. But what are your thoughts on the $0 bids
for the fans at home?
Nick,
I am fundamentally I hear what you're saying.
He's deep in thought.
I am, because in theory, like you won someone who no one else bid on. So if you bid $0, so be it. Like all it took is someone bidding $1 to outbid you. Like, okay, like that's all it takes. I think I'm against I was for it at the draft, and I thought this is a great experiment, and I'm for it throughout the year. We bet on it, that's fine. I think that seeing it play out, I don't know. Like, there is something about it that rubs me wrong. I do think that there is something about it that rubs me wrong. I don't know. I can't put my finger on exactly why. I do think that there needs to be more than just $0. Like, oh, I'm putting someone on my IR, therefore I can now just pick up someone for free if I need to. Like, there needs to be some kind of ramification for that. But I'm also like, but the ramification is
what? Why
you won? Why? Like you.
It's taking some of the game out of it. You know what I mean? It's just
you're not though, because what you're saying is like I am putting 100 bids in for $0, and I'm going to hit on one of them.
There's no analysis there.
Wait,
it just becomes a lottery.
So let me go back. First of all, can we go back to I'm putting 100 bids in for $0? Take me through that. Just let's go a
I
step
give it
further on that one.
Current roster size 15. Last I checked.
Yeah. So who are you dropping in those 100 bids that you're putting out there?
The same player, or I put someone on the IR and I have that one open spot and I'm bidding like it's the $0 is
You can
the
bid on
same as
100
saying
crappy players for $0, and
it's not.
if
it's
nobody else bids $1, you're saying you get that player and you have a
How
problem
would
with
the
that.
site even decide that? Alphabetical order?
You have to prioritize them. You can prioritize your waiver bidding, your
I
100
think
bids that you put in.
Like I think
I don't know
that
if it's. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, finish up.
I think that if you're, I think again, I voted for this, and the $0 bid was a great experiment, and I now see that I think that given that you have to spend money on the thing, I think that you have a free agent budget for a reason, and I think that $1 is the minimum that you need to bid. And that's just my personal thought: is that you need to put a financial number.
So what?
To
What?
No.
What?
I mean,
what happened?
We
what
don't need to be
happened that you
exhaustive about
didn't?
this.
No, I think we do, because this is a rule. Like, what happened that changed your mind on this? Like, what? So if you're
got
saying you
7
voted
years
for it,
remorse.
which I don't think we have any we have no way of knowing if you voted for it or not. But you're saying you did. I'll trust you on that. Whatever. What happened that changed the reason you voted for it? Wait, let me stop there. What was the reason you voted for it?
I think I just wanted to see what was going to happen. I think I just wanted to see what a $0 bid system was going to do. I was intrigued. I think that it was going to be fun. I thought that not necessarily fun. I think that I was interested to see what it was going to do, and I think that there was enough discussion that I was persuaded enough to say, like, you know what, I'll see what happens. I'll see what a $0 bid does. Like, and I think that if it's going to pass, like, I am intrigued enough to see what's going to happen after a year. Having seen it now, I think I'm just going to, like, again, well, now we have to go on the opposite side of things. This law has passed, and now we have to get the opposite. We have to get 7 people now.
Yeah. So let me, like, yeah, sure. But so what happened that changed your mind?
I just don't like $0 bids. I think that having seen it now and seeing the way the $0 bids are playing out is like seeing the amount of $0 bids that are succeeding. And maybe this is just the league playing out. This is after 1 week. Like, I just don't like after 1 week, maybe I just don't like the amount of $0 bids that are winning. I don't like seeing that. And I think that there needs to be more. A $0 bid, you need to have a cost associated to it. And I think that, what I was actually thinking about is the amount of times over the last however many years that we've been in the playoffs, and is like part of the playoff structure is knowing that you need to manage your playoff budget to be able your fab, so that you can pick up that handcuff at the last minute. You can pick up that defense that's falling.
Then why did you vote for $0 bids?
He already
Merrill.
asked and answered, Merrill. Come on, let's move on.
No,
Let's
like,
keep
if
it
that's-
going.
I'm asking right now.
If the man has scavenger's remorse, you don't have to like it.
No, stop, Hillary, stop ganging up here. Stop ganging up.
No, the question that you're asking right now is what do I think about them?
I'm saying what happened since you voted for it 3 weeks ago that changed your mind? Our playoff structure, like, you knew our playoff structure when you voted for it. You knew that, in the past you had to have money to bid on players or whatever, and now you're using that as a rationale to say I want to go back on it when nothing has really happened to change that part of your.
I'm just saying it's the amount of $0 bids that have succeeded, and seeing that $0 bids are doing as well as they are. I think that.
What does that mean? Doing as well as they are. Like,
exactly what it.
There's
like, what $0 bid really.
And it looks just
just burned your behind, like really just got in your craw and just made you really upset that somebody got somebody for $0.
I think every single $0 bid that's gone on is something that I'm like, it shouldn't have cost $0 to get someone. It should have cost $1, and every single one.
It's okay
DJ Giddens went for $0, and he dropped Woody Marks, and that just really grinds your gears. That DJ Giddens went for $0.
Yep. You gotta have that
Then Nick,
Daniel Jones
I gotta
backup.
tell you, I gotta be honest. I don't feel like you should have voted for $0 bids.
Well, valid answer. People can change their minds. It
That's
happens.
fine. I'm changing my
It
mind.
happens.
Like why you're attacking me is absolutely ridiculous. I am telling you that it's a $0 bid. Is that if I own that I voted for it. And I think that I would vote against it next year.
Fair. I would.
representative.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for attacking. I would kindly suggest let's let it play out over the year and see what happens. Right.
We can.
Over one weekend.
You're asking after 1 week. What are my thoughts? My thoughts are I'm against it after 1 week.
I think the first team that has a really successful player that costs them $0, people are going to resent it, and I think they're right to do so.
I guess I don't see the reason between the difference between $1, $0 at that point. Like, but sure, whatever.
It's $1.
$1 costs something.
The difference
Yeah,
is
and
$1.
I honestly just don't care that much about that. So you guys, whatever.
Anyway, now that we've settled that issue forever,
How's that 30-minute podcast going, guys?
it's going poorly. Not going well. So we're going to just do a quick lightning round, and then we're out of here, okay? So every year, the same things, people look around and they see, oh, man, that player was incredible. Why did we all forget about him? There are some rookies that will be like, yes, these are the new superstars. There are some guys that we all were pretty confident, based on preseason hype, we're going to be hot shit, that just shit the bed. Merrill, who is your number one surprise player after week 1?
Oh my God, you're putting me on the spot here.
I can offer
Surprise
you some
player.
options.
You know what I'll say is, and it shouldn't be a surprise. I'll say Caleb Johnson, the running back for the Steelers. I thought he would be at least involved a little bit.
Okay.
And when I say that, I like Arthur Smith, of course, he's not going to draft a running back. What was it in the second round, and then actually use him? Like, why would you?
Why would you ever?
Why would you? So we're going to use Jalen Warren and Kenneth Gainwell instead. Because, we'll let this guy's got to earn. He's got to earn his spot, whatever. So, it's just stuff like that, I guess. The Arthur Smith thing is what I'll say.
No, that's a great answer. I think that's underreported, under-noticed story. So
He literally played, I think he got 1 carry, maybe? Like, literally played like 2 snaps.
Wild. Nick, same question. Biggest surprise, good or bad? Who do you...
Individually, I'm going to say no one, but I think that rookie players in general did not blow up the way that they were expecting to be. I think that they did not return their draft position that they picked up. Like Ashton Jeanty in particular, did not return that.
You'd have to do an awful lot to be worth
I'm just saying, is I think
$70,
that,
something like that?
I mean, Trayvon Henderson, did he do well? Like Quentin Johnson, the Omarion Hampton, did he do well? Like there's no particular.
They scored in double digits, all of them.
But did they blow up in the way that you wanted them to blow up in week 1? Like I don't think that any particular rookie blew up. Like, who was your boy Hillers, the wide receiver for the Buccaneers? Like he was probably the highlight of rookies.
Who's boy? Why is he Hiller's boy? Hang on, he's on the him end.
Because I love him the most.
Yes, because
How dare
Hillers
you?
can't pronounce it.
You don't get him. He's mine. I have Ibuka.
I'm claiming. No, it's on the podcast. I'm afraid it's canon now.
Fair enough. All right. Well, okay.
I will throw my guy in as Kenneth Walker. I think there was a lot of preseason hype for him. I think that was a guy that the gazebo needed to be really good. And it's looking bad. It's looking pretty bad, pretty bad, pretty quickly. There's always a worry that Charbonnet is going to take carries or something, but that team in general came out looking a little sour, and I think that could be a real problem if it continues. If he's no longer a guy, a guy like Bo Nix or something, bad week, but let's say he turns bad, you could replace him. Not the same for Kenneth Walker the 3. So I think that's something worth watching as we go forward. Okay.
Do you guys know who can read Braille?
Bill Gosky can read Braille.
Is that true? Well, a few years of football, we'll see.
He can drown a fish.
Tons to fuck your fingers up. Okay. Last question, then we're out of here. Your biggest power ranking change, you think, from last week? Who has moved up or down the most? Nick, we'll go with you first on this one.
Ooh.
From before the season to today, the team that you were wrongest about
I think I was definitely wrong about my team. I think my team might.
Wow.
My team might be in the bottom quarter, not in the top half.
Ooh,
not in
boy.
like not my team might be in like the 8 through 12, not through the 6 through 8.
Okay, Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, you talk about the ultimate mea culpas. My top two teams in my power rankings were Not Gonna Happen Chiefs and Gazebo. So,
Oh my God.
uh,
Yeah, Gazebo, who you ripped on the podcast.
Yeah.
And in closing, number 2.
I was like, no, my power rankings are bad. We gotta
right.
the formula. We gotta get in the lab. We gotta figure out the formula. We gotta go
Throughout
back to the
entirety of our first podcast. You were right.
Yeah, no, that team stinks. They're terrible. They're bad. And Not Gonna Happen Chiefs also bad. And Esther hopped on Discord and said, "Oh, I feel lucky. I feel like I was unlucky this week because this blah 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 blah." It's like, bro, you scored like 80 points and got a win. Like that's lucky. So whatever. Yeah, those teams stink. I had them 1 and 2 in my power rankings, so it's easy for me to say that.
Yeah. Okay. Easy answer for me. I underestimated the current, I would say, best looking team in the league, the Dying Gnomes. A lot of their guys are hitting harder than I expected, and there's more guys on that team that look totally viable as fill-ins than I would have imagined, especially in the wide receivers. So, we'll see how it plans out. Might be a week 1 mirage, but right now he's looking like an absolute juggernaut of this league. Which, good for you, Watson. I did not have you high enough. You will be moving up the next time we do power rankings. All right. Well, we'll go see what happens with the end of this.
Can I give a quick shout out before we go?
Absolutely.
Quick shout out to the Wounded Ducks, who started 0-2 again. 4 of their first 5 seasons 0-2. So way to go, guys.
Yeah, way to represent the losers. Someone's got to do it. But good try at a quick podcast. We will get there, guys. In the meantime, make your beds. Signing off for Mike Merrill, for Nick Makita. Good luck, everybody. We'll see you in week 3.
Peace out.